This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick TV, Facebook, and YouTube. Get all your sports news here first. The daily podcasts are Ken and Ken in the Morning, Lions Talk with Smoking Jeremy B, Wrestling Roundup, The Big Football Show, and more, Shield TV, Lions Villain Report, and Red Zone Rant. The afternoon podcasts are Valhalla, Grosef Sports, WCFL Dolphins Talk, The Cheap Seats, The Bodkin Show, Spirit of Detroit Podcast, and MM Maniacs. The nightly podcasts are Hallis Hall Report, Frozen Tundra Network, Skull Gang 365, The Huddle Sports Network Open Mic, First and 10 with Foz, Main Event Football Show, Prime Sports World, The Man Cave, Prim and Proper Sports, Spitballing Podcast, Lions Fan Cave Chat, Puckett, 313 Den Podcast, The Guys Huddle, Shots from the Sideline, Let's Talk Sports, The Michigan Truth Sports Podcast, Off the Rails, NFC Northeast, Power Hours, and Detroit Lions News. Make sure you follow, like, share, subscribe, and comment.
Show up here locally in the community. Make sure y'all go check out Mic Nite by Jeremy Jones.
All right, and welcome to Saturday night's NFC North and East Power Hours. I invited my co-host Dan Leonard, who's a Giants fan, to hop in here. I wanted to hear about his injury report and stuff like that. This is more news-based, less shit talking. Just to be honest and real right now, we don't go for that fucking bullshit here. But I figured I'd let my buddies all stay in here with me. I'm going to move myself into the control position here. But I got John Dorn, Packer Backer Rob, and A-Dub. And A-Dub, you didn't get to talk a lot earlier. I want to ask you, what is your opinion of this game coming up? What do you think is going to happen?
My personal take on it is that both teams are going to be playing physical. It's going to be a very tough battle between the two. And I personally think it may be close to where it's going to be a 28-24 win for anybody's favor, either whether it's beating the Lions or the Vikings. But I'm leaning towards where the Lions are going to be the ones that wins this game personally. Like, I'm thinking Jared Goff and the offense is going to have more than enough going to where they can actually overcome Brian Flores and his schemes out there on defense. Like what Brian Flores does defensively may not be too much for Ben Johnson to handle, which is where I'd say the Lions are going to win.
All right. Hey, Von Doom, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing.
Hey, you're here. Thanks for showing up. What's going on with the Giants injury report? I already know Neighbors is out because he didn't pass protocol. What else is going on?
Neighbors isn't. He passed protocol. Singletary's out. Andrew Thomas is out. Phibbs is out still with an injury. That's pretty much it.
I'm glad Singletary's out.
So am I. Tyrone's killing it for me in fantasy.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Okay, good. I'm glad Neighbors cleared because I know Wednesday you said, man, if Neighbors is out, we're screwed because his brain's still scrambled, is what you said.
Yep. But on a side note, the Eagles got Jordan Mailata, their starting left tackle. He's out for the next 4 weeks.
Ooh. Yes, and Megan, our Australian friend there, says, I'm torn on this one, JB. I want the Vikes to win, but I'm taking the Lions. I know why you want the Vikes to win, because we spanked you guys come week 4.
No, that's not it. She's got a crush on Sam Darnold from his USC days. Remember, she's a USC fan.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. And she has our Lions defense in fantasy. Hey, they got us 20 points last week.
Yeah. Neighbors is back. Yeah, he is back.
But isn't it funny that for the last 2 weeks, Devontae Adams was dealing with the hammy. He gets traded to the Jets, and it's miraculously healed.
Yeah.
It's
Hey.
amazing.
He went to see Aaron Rodgers' doctors. That's how.
I just want to say that video that
Washer lived
they
6 months of his life. He healed up quick.
And I want to give kudos to Sarah, the Viking fan. She never backed down. She gave it as good as she got it, if not a little better, actually.
Bro, that was great. That was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, I know. You guys love that type of stuff.
Well, I like it when it's unexpected. I did not expect her to go.
Who can expect
it?
Oh, I did.
Man.
Did too.
Just for the hell of it, I'm on the Vikings side. Vikings are winning this.
Like you would expect that when it comes to.
Oh yeah, but at the same time, the reason why I don't do shows quite that bad is because we are on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. We do go live into lots of places. So they're a great job.
Yeah, she held her own.
Well, you held your own, and I loved it. But I'm going to go back to what John Gruden said. He said there's a key point on why he thinks the Lions will win. And it's our interior defensive D linemen versus Ed Ingram and their center, because that's been a sieve to Sam Darnold the last 3 games. Didn't Kenny Clark even get a sack in that game when you guys played him?
Actually, we didn't get any sacks, tell you the truth.
You didn't get any sacks?
No,
I don't think we did.
Oh, so he just made plain old same old Darnold.
Darnold you talking about?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait.
We got pressured on. That was it.
Actually,
I think we got
there were actually when we played the Vikings, we got 2 sacks in that game.
Yeah.
One of them came for corner Keyshawn Nixon when he had that strip.
Yeah.
And the other sack came on a blitz from Quay Walker.
Yeah, a blitz is not from our front though.
Well, we probably wouldn't have got that crazy, Sarah, if it wasn't Tim on there. Any other line, he's just like that.
And I'm not talking crap. I still think it's going to be a close game.
I've known Tim.
Yeah, Tim's always talk crap.
I've known Tim for a long time, and I know.
My eardrums almost bled, so I had to get out.
The bummer part is that the Vikings and the Lions games are the same time as the Packers and the Texans, and it's like, man, it's like you can't watch both games. Like, man,
I know. I wish one of them would have at least been at 4:00.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's tough when we're all playing.
Somebody once
when
said,
we got all of us playing.
Right. Exactly.
Packers fans going to get to see a real quarterback this week.
Yeah, and they said if the Vikings game was not scheduled on that time, our game could have been the game that week at the time too.
I think
versus Houston or the Vikings versus the Lions.
Keep cutting out, A-Dub.
Yeah, my connection's bad.
Yeah, you guys.
Bad.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
But she says, I think there won't be much in it, JB. 10 points max. Woof. Okay, John, realistically, where do you see this game going?
It's going to be a good game, man. It's going to go back and forth, I think. And I don't think they're going to be able to stop Gibbs and Monty. I don't think so, man. I think you guys are going to win by 3.
That's where I'm at. I think it's going to come down. I think both teams are going to score field goals in this game because both teams clamp down in the red zone. If you look, both teams have been giving up yards, not by the buckets, but a lot between the 20s. But when it comes, this is the NFC North and East Powers hours, Jay. This is my normal show on Saturdays.
Yeah, Jay, pay attention, fucker.
To me, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me go either way, Titus. I really don't. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean,
We got 2 primetime games at 1 p.m. while they force us to watch Jets versus Steelers.
yeah.
Von Doom, what do you think about the game versus Minnesota? Realistically, give a realistic expectation.
Realistically, I'm thinking it's probably going to be like 30 to 23 in that area. I think the Vikings are going to win the game because while you both do have great red zone defenses, they score from outside the red zone way more than you do.
Actually, I'm going to say they give up a lot more from outside the red zone than we do too.
Yeah,
You have,
but
if
they
you're
got
getting
Justin Jefferson, man.
they've given up 8 passing touchdowns, and all of them have been big.
Okay.
We've given up 4.
I'll still take Justin Jefferson over your entire defense all day right now because I don't trust any of those corners at all. Because even if he
That's
doesn't
fine.
catch it, they're going to get an interception. Not an interception. They're going to get a freaking pass interference.
You said it right. Yeah, we're going to get an interception. Kirby
not gonna
Joseph
throw
and
it-
Brian
no.
Branch with
To
their
me-
stealth technology.
To me, it
No.
always depends how much pressure you can get on Sam. You know, if you can get pressure on him, then I think you'd be all right. But if you can't get pressure on him, like if you miss that pass rush, man, and that even that, you know, just getting into his face, what like Hutchins used to do. If you don't get that, I think he's gonna pick you apart. I really
And the
do.
freaking Vikings just called up Robert Tunyon to the active roster this week, too.
Right,
can
because
block it as a
TJ
tight end.
Hawkinson's not a go.
Yeah, but he blocks well.
Tunyon does. Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, he does. And he can catch out of the backfield.
And
He's-
the only
he's-
reason why people are going to be out for Minnesota, if you
What's-
look at the questionable guys they have, only 2 of them were full practices. The rest of them were limited practice. The full practices guys, they're a go. That'll be Patrick Jones and Harrison Phillips. But everybody else was limited practice. And so the other 2 they already said is out, and they're waiting to say that Aaron Jones is out as a game time decision. But I'm quite sure when that report comes out at 11 a.m., it's going to have Aaron Jones' name on there because he hasn't had a full practice since the walkthrough.
I think if it wasn't a division game like this, that we wouldn't see him. I think he'd sit out. But I think they're going to try and get him to play. I said we're still going to create pressure. It'll just be done differently.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do more blitzes and scheme up more stuff. But,
Sarah,
don't-
I just want it to be known. I said the Hutch loss is a major loss and that they're not going to be able to replace his production.
We're not trying to replace his production. We have to try to scheme up something different. And that is what I told you when you said it.
Dude, which is exactly replacing his production.
No, we're
Getting
not
that
going to
production
replace.
from other places.
We're not going to be able to replace his production. Period. I've said this. We're just going to create pressure in other ways. That's it. And it's not going to be the same. I know this. There's no way you can tell me it's going to be the same. But at the same time, 4.5 of his sacks came in one game. Other than that, he's had 3 sacks in 4 games. He created a bunch of pressures, but he wasn't getting sacks. There was guys that got sacks while he was off the field, but nobody wants to admit that.
We've all admitted that. The rest of the team has as many as he has.
yeah.
And 3 of them came against Dallas after he was out.
Man, that Dallas game shouldn't count for anybody's records because that was the worst outing of any football team I think I've ever seen. And I've watched the Browns play.
Okay. Yeah, and that was almost the equivalent of Dallas versus the Browns if you think about it. Week 1, what'd they beat them 42-10?
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's a good offensive line that wasn't missing anybody. Tyler Guyton played, Zach Martin played, all those guys played. Cooper Beebe, all of them, the guys that have been in there all time.
Yeah, you're right. He is a stud. He's had one good game. He's not a consistent producer on the sacks. He gets pressures, which I think are the biggest BS freaking stat they ever freaking tracked. But that's neither here nor there. That's another conversation that would turn into an hour-long me rant, and we don't need that. JB's heard that a few times.
I understand, and I don't count the PFF pressure stat, because if you go to stats.com, pressure is when you get within a yard of a quarterback. According to PFF, it's if you get it within 2 yards. So their numbers are way more inflated on the pressure rate than they are with other ones.
So
with
according to
other stat
PFF,
sets.
then anytime a quarterback's under center, the entire defensive line should get a pressure, right?
Right? No, after the ball is like 2 yards within after the ball is like, buddy.
Just saying.
But at the same time, Hutch had created 18 pressures according to stats.com or Stats Inc. And the rest of the D line has created 24. Who's injury prone, Bob Speed? That's the first time he's missed a game ever for Detroit. You can't call a guy that misses his first game due to a major injury
Do I
prone.
agree with the pressure stat? Yeah, I do, Jay.
Well,
I mean, I can't really argue against him since I've not seen much of it.
I think the pressure stat itself is stupid. Hey, I almost got a sack. Like I've said, it's like, hey, I almost got laid. Almost don't matter. Get home.
If Bob Speed thinks that Aiden Hutchinson's injury prone, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard.
You guys should really go get Azeez Ojulari. He's had 11
Hey,
pressures
I've been
in 2
saying
games.
it. I've been saying that.
A dub with defect. Thanks. Oh,
Yeah, he's referring to me.
I didn't know. I can't. I have my phone sideways, so I can't even see what your name is up there. Honestly, I'm sorry about that.
He goes by A-Dub when he's on these podcasts.
Yeah. Okay. Nice to meet you.
So, what do you think about your game that you're facing off with, Leonard? Who are you playing again, and what do you think it'll be?
Oh, we're playing the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh.
And hopefully we get our ass kicked and take Saquon Barkley out in the process.
Yeah, this is Barkley's return game.
Yeah, I just want to see him
Revenge game,
I just want to see him tear his ACL, just so that he still gets his money, but the Eagles have to deal with what we dealt with his entire career.
Gotcha. So, what other matchups are you looking for in the East? Dallas has the bye week, right? They had to go lick their wounds and figure out if they want to live or not.
Yeah.
Dallas
is on the bye.
Let's see. Oh, the other game in East that it's really a competitive one. It's going to be the Commies are playing the Panthers.
Oh, Jesus. They get to play the actual NFL bye week.
Yes. So I'm taking Jaden Daniels over 300 yards rushing and over 100 yards receiving. I mean, over 300 passing and 100 yards rushing.
I wish my voice was as deep as A-Dub's.
J.I., after you hit puberty, it will be, bud.
Oh, damn. He went there.
Wow.
Don't take it personally, J.I. Von Doom always talk shit.
Yeah, man. You should see when Will gets me going, pisses me off.
That's BCP to you.
The BCP.
Go ahead and tell everybody what BCP is for those that haven't heard it yet.
The butt chin Padawan. Swear to God, J-Lo's sitting on the front of his face.
He goes, I hate you, Lenny.
When you lob a softball like that, man, I gotta hit it. I can't resist.
Are you referring to me to ask me to say what I think my game's going to look like, Sarah?
Yeah. Texans versus Green Bay.
I'm personally going to be honest. Before the season got started, I already told myself I had this game marked down as a loss for Green Bay as far as how much work our defense has to do just to keep up with C.J. Stroud, especially when they are very loaded offensively. But Nick Collins being out, and they're more banged up than we are going into this game, which I'm thinking is going to give us much of an edge.
Where they're not
offensive line intact?
Yeah, is all your starters playing on the
What's
O
that?
line yet?
Yeah, we're not missing anybody on the O line,
I know,
so we're
and,
good to go with this
and
game.
I know they're not missing anybody in their front D line or O line as well. So that's where I know they're missing Nico
Supposedly,
Collins, but if you look last week, Tank Dell stepped up and replaced that production. So he's stepping up.
mhm.
And CJ Stroud's just a different animal. He isn't your average OSU quarterback coming out.
Hell no, he is
Oh,
not.
I know
He
what
is
kind
the
of quarterback.
only good quarterback to ever come out of that school.
I know.
Shit,
That's
he's the
why I
best
said it.
Oh,
player
I
to
know
ever
what
come out
kind
of
of
that
quarterback
school.
CJ Stroud is. Yeah, I know what kind of quarterback CJ Stroud is, and where the Texans could be mostly banged up is going to be their defense because there are some guys they got on that side that are out.
Right. They got Jimmy Ward out. I Who's the other? Don't they have another wide receiver out too than Nico Collins?
No.
No. Okay.
Steven Sims.
Yeah, but
Steven Sims is out.
he was
He's a
their
bum.
fourth receiver. So
But Joe Mixon's back, and look what he did
yeah,
last week. He
Joe
had like
Mixon and Damian
100
Pierce
rushing,
being
100
back is
receiving.
why they traded
Mhm.
Cam Akers to the Vikings.
All I got to say is this.
Yeah,
Jordan
but
Love going to meet Will Anderson.
yeah, we know what kind of pass rusher Will Anderson is and what he's capable of.
I'm gonna say this.
We're well aware of him, and we're well aware of Daniil Hunter.
Oh yeah, everybody knows who Daniil Hunter is. But yes, I not predict that Alabama would lose to Tennessee, and I also predicted that Miami would beat Louisville.
Uh-huh. The only team that screwed me was
Mhm.
Nebraska. I'd be freaking 1,000 air tonight.
But I didn't expect Texas to be laying the golden egg there versus Georgia right now.
They pulled Quinn Ewers and put Arch Manning to start the second half. The second quarter, I mean.
And Arkansas State is beating Southern Miss.
Bastards.
Yeah, but yeah, when it comes to Georgia, that seems to be their story every other year. Every other year, they're going to have a variety of guys make it into the NFL, and yet they're still not missing a beat as far as being a very dominant and tough team to beat.
Right.
Good
Yeah.
coaching, NIL money.
I thought Nebraska would keep it close, but they did not. They got their butt handed to them. Michigan got their butt handed to them today, but I kind of expected it. We were on the road. We didn't have all those fans. Makes a big difference.
Michigan are frauds this year.
I said no. I said they were lucky to be an 8-win team. I told you that before the season started. Lion King in the chat. What up, Smoke? Good to see you, brother. But like I said, even though the overall defenses and the scoring defenses, our scoring defenses aren't far apart. Our scoring offenses isn't far apart, but everything leans slightly towards the Lions. We're giving up a total of 40 yards less per game in total yardage than they are. Both teams have given up 9 touchdowns total as a defense. And that's pretty freaking huge, really, when you're talking about 5 games into the season. To only allow 9 touchdowns total scored on either team, that's a big matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, and we've all said it, Minnesota's defense has not faced a running game like the Lions yet. The way we got guys that can bust it up the middle or take it outside and they work well in space. It's going to be a dogfight. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be a dogfight. That's what it's coming down to. I don't think anybody's blowing anybody out this game.
Given how competitive this division is and how tough it is this year, I wouldn't count on it either.
100%. I'm just not that guy to sit there and just say stuff randomly out my butt. It's looking like it's going to be the dogfight of all dogfights. Leonard, yeah, I know you're predicting to get your butt stomped by Philly, right? Who is Josh Uche? Josh Uche was a defensive end / linebacker out of the University of Michigan that was drafted by the Patriots. And and we did talk to him today. We did talk to the Patriots, not his agent, not Josh Uche. You can't talk to a player directly. You got to go through GMs and agents and all that stuff. And it's somebody that we called about. What I do like about him is he has that Aiden Hutchinson type of motor. He just hasn't had the Aiden Hutchinson type of production because he really is in the wrong scheme for what fits his game plan. He played in a 4-man front at Michigan. He's now in a 3-man front, and I think that's a lot to do with it. Sometimes square pegs, round holes just don't work.
Josh Uche had a good rookie year and
Yeah.
has fallen
And
off the face of the planet since. They don't play him to his position.
Right.
He was in New England.
yeah.
They don't have anybody good to
And
rush. You know that.
and and if I wanted to follow up on what Jay said about Philly isn't as good this year, I would agree. Like the defensive side of the ball is going to be the weak point for the Eagles. Like that side itself has not been showing up as much. And then one's got to think that Jalen Hurts himself has definitely been regressing a big deal from where he once was. Like he may not be that same QB that we saw during that Super Bowl run they had.
Gotcha.
There's a lot that can be said about that. The defense itself is a joke. The offense has Kellen Moore freaking calling it. And he's always been a downfield type of coordinator. Wants the ball to go deep. That's not Jalen Hurts' game. He has the freaking arm strength of half a Jared Goff, which is saying a lot. Their offensive line isn't playing. The losses Kelsey ruined their push. You know?
Yeah, and how much can you trust Vic Fangio to call a competent defense out there?
Vic Fangio to call defense? I think he's a great defensive coordinator. I think he sucks ass as the head coach.
Well, so far they haven't been that great on defense.
It's because they have too many goddamn personalities out there and everybody wants to be a fucking star. Sorry, I make coffee.
That's fine. Make your coffee. Lion King, Mad Max, Mortar Warren, Sap 2.0 on steroids.
Oh my God.
So you mean Junior actually made a good call out? It may be, but he was saying he did say to trade a first rounder for him.
Really?
When's the raffle, Von Doom?
Which one are we doing?
I
don't remember.
I was trying to explain to him, and he didn't get it. When we get to 1,000 subs, we plan on doing a raffle type of thing with the numbers 0 through 999. Draw one out of a hat, and that person's going to get something. We just haven't figured out what it is yet.
Yeah. I hate when people compare people to Warren Sapp. He was different.
Yeah.
He was Aaron Darnold before Aaron Darnold. Aaron Donald, my bad.
And if you look, Kellen Moore's offense kind of fell apart in the playoffs and at the end of the year last year with the Dallas Cowboys.
He wasn't with the Cowboys last year. They replaced him the year before. He was with the Chargers last year.
So I just did one at 500, so the next one will be 1,000. I'm not rounding up. I can only afford to give out. We can only afford to give out so much stuff at a time.
Yeah, we can run raffles all you want, but we're gonna have to do paid raffles.
Right.
Yeah, and what's funny to me when you mentioned Kellen Moore is that there was some kind of stifle I once heard where it was a dispute between him and Mike McCarthy about the play call of the Cowboys offense, where Mike wanted to run the ball more and Kellen Moore wasn't doing that for him, where that's the reason they let Kellen Moore go, because they wanted to establish the run game more. And the thing was like, Dallas didn't look any better with the run without Moore than they did when they had him. and it showed
Oh,
last
he's
season.
saying, when do we want to do a paid raffle? We'll figure that out and talk about it, J.I.
I got an idea for that. Don't worry. I'll message you later. JB, you know that big Giants thing I made?
Yeah,
I can make a big Lions one.
that'd be cool. I'll tell you
I'll
what,
even put
though, a pinched nerve is not fun.
correct. Nerve damage isn't fun either. Except when you got to grab something really hot and you can't feel your hand and you can't find an oven mitt, then it comes in handy.
All right. So I think we pretty much covered both games top to bottom. I think I'm going to do the same as I do when I do my predictions in my articles. When I'm going to talk about other teams, when I do my article, I said best worst case scenario, it's going to be 27-24. I don't care who wins. This is going to be a dogfight to the whistle at the end.
I just want
So
the Vikings to win so I could win my bet with Shane, honestly.
yeah, I know why you do. A-Dub, if you had to pick one NFC North team to win it all, which one would it be right now?
If it wasn't mine, I got more faith in the Lions to repeat once more.
Gotcha.
I just gotta be honest. Like
I-
I have more faith in the Lions with their kind of team and build to where they can at least repeat as a division champ if they maintain their momentum and certain things go right with them for the rest of the year.
Lion King, ex Jared Goff hater, he finally won me over. Took 3 games at 82.7% to do it, didn't it, Lion King? A-Dub, a secret Lions fan. Yes. No, he's a fan of what we built here. Me and him have talked on many shows over the summer and the off season and everything else. And he's a fan of what we built here. And he sees his team kind of doing the same thing around Jordan Love. But he even said prior to this season, he thinks there's a year out from being at that level because there's still holes. Correct? Isn't that what you said?
Mm-hmm.
See, that sounds about right.
I mean, I'm not one to hold. I'm not one to hold back in admitting that Green Bay is still a work in progress as far as where we came from last year up to now. I mean, if there's a time and a place where we're fixing towards competing, it is this
Right.
year.
And I see that.
Like we want like that's our thing. We want to build on what we did last season as far as our first full season with Love. There was much faith we had in our team to where we could do more going into this season. And we're trying to show folks to believe in just that.
Yep. And I think we both said there was a chance that all 4 teams could be 10 wins or better in this division because of the defenses of the Bears and Minnesota and the offenses of the Green Bay Packers and the Lions. But the problem is you didn't expect to get derailed with an injury in game 1 with Jordan Love, but it really didn't derail you because you ended up winning the 2 games with Malik Willis, which that was the shocker of the world to me because I didn't see an NFL quarterback in Malik Willis. I'm not going to lie.
Well, what Malik Willis did for those first 2 games, to me, that's just a test. To me, is much more of a testament of how good of a coach Matt LaFleur is in terms of wanting to draw up the kind of scheme that Malik Willis could thrive and succeed in. Like, the first thing you have to know as a head coach is what you do with your starter. You cannot do the same thing for the one who's behind him. You got to be mindful of where his skill set is and what works well for him.
Damn right.
And that's what Matt LaFleur had to do when it came to working with Malik Willis under center.
Oh, I understand. I gave your coach a lot of credit for that. I was like, you guys can say what you want, but I watched this guy play. And I'll tell you what, I couldn't believe that he was doing as good as he was. I was like, Matt LaFleur must have some of that Dave Canales type of QB juice because he squirted it all over Malik Willis.
Hey, J.I., you're right, man. We don't talk about the NFC very much over there because we don't want to have to talk about how many championships my division's won compared to yours and make y'all feel bad.
No, that has nothing to do with it. We do talk about your division. Commanders, they are
Yeah.
the surprise team of the league right now,
God,
just like
absolutely.
Minnesota is.
Would you shut the fuck up, you stupid little mutt?
Nice to
Fucking
the
walk
dog.
your ass.
But
Hey, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, and I have to be honest about that. Washington surprised me too. Like every part of me thought that when they drafted Jaden Daniels, it was just the first step in the right direction for them. Like they're finally gonna get things figured out, and you could say what Washington's doing right now is just everything that a team should do. But I didn't think they start off like this. But I guess it's a testament to where the Dan Snyder era is finally gone, and they're starting life anew, and they're feeling much better about it now.
right, I mean,
Yep.
their biggest pickup was Frankie Luvo, and a couple of the other rookies that nobody talks about because they got other rookies producing on that team. And I think the best thing they did was trade away Jahar Dotson.
I think that was a great thing they did for him, honestly. But I knew when they brought Dan Quinn in, that team was heading in the right direction. They addressed some spots on their defense. They addressed their offensive line, which was abysmal, and they're playing great ball.
And the views and opinions of Jeremy Volrick Jr. do not reflect that of my channel or any channel I'm a part of or me.
I agree with JBJ.
Ziggy Ansah was
Holmes
38 when he
contact
came out of
number
college.
8.
You damn right. Oh, also, J.I., your Lions team would be a legit contender if you guys got the production that the Giants defense does. Mainly Dexter Lawrence is what I want to say with that.
Washington?
Okay, I gotta look it up now just to see.
Giants are a top 10 defense.
So are the Lions right now.
Dexter Lawrence has many pressures as your whole team, basically, though.
That's fine.
That fat bastard just needs to fall down and he gets pressure. Like half of Skull are not new free agents, not on.
You know, it's funny, even though they only got one win, the Titans are still the best defense in the NFL right now.
Oh, yeah, that defense has played damn good. If their offense wasn't a pile of dog shit, they'd probably be like 3-win team.
Lions are one spot ahead of the Vikings in total defense. Bears are above the Giants. You guys are 10th. We're top 15, but that's right where I said we should be.
Yeah.
Dude, the Bears, man, those are the
is-
team that's surprising me, honestly. I didn't think they were going to be winning them. I
don't
thought
know.
Caleb would take a year to
I think
develop,
it's a friend
honestly.
of mine trolling me that has access to my old Facebook profile because I
don't know, but they're great. That's a good friend right there.
Yeah. I mean, and funny thing is, when it comes to our defense, there's one area where we're currently number one amongst everybody in, and that is we create turnovers. Like we got the most turnovers in the NFL. So
That's only because my GM sucks at life and didn't re-sign Xavier McKinney.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the best free agent signings we could have ever had right there.
Yeah, we just let the best free safety
Yeah,
in football leave. We should have just signed his, tagged his ass if he didn't want to sign. And you know the best part about him, though? He doesn't miss plays. He did not miss a single snap last season.
And that guy is currently he currently has the most interceptions in the league so far.
Well, dude, remember the year he came out? We got him in the second round with the 33rd pick in the draft. He was projected to be a top 2 pick in the draft that year. And then everybody got into their whole hype and he just kept falling. He was the best player in the country that year. I don't care what anybody said.
Yeah. Yo, he's saying I have the least amount of faith in the QBs of the NFC North. I can understand why. Like for Jordan Love, this is his second year. second year of full season as a starter, and he still has more to prove. Like this year, he has to prove whether or not last season was a fluke, or can he duplicate what he ate that same magic this year.
So,
and when it comes to Caleb Williams,
for
let us see. Yeah, when it comes to Caleb Williams, let us see if he can do what he's been doing now against a more competitive defense, against a playoff caliber team, because the Bears because the level of the Bears competition has not been all that great.
It hasn't, but you watch him over the season so far. Every game he's getting better, and he's reading defenses more. Games are slowing down for him finally.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just trying to run away with the ball like freaking Kyler Murray. Or less fast Kyler Murray.
Right.
So here's an interesting stat, because we all know us Lions fans have been watching the fumbling stat for Jared Goff every year. Von Doom too. Through 5 games, that's the one thing he has not done at all. He has not fumbled. That's crazy. But we have 10 takeaways total, 7 interceptions and 3 fumble recoveries. Minnesota has 11-2, but they've given up 9 turnovers. They also have 4 interceptions, but they have 5 fumbles. And guess who the 5 fumbles are from?
Sam Darnold.
4 of them are. One is Aaron Jones in the red zone.
Man, they didn't get Aaron Jones for the regular season. They got him for the playoffs if Dallas makes it there. Because playoff Aaron Jones, especially in Dallas, is a different animal.
Hey, he doesn't play for Dallas, though.
Mm-hmm.
I know he doesn't play for Dallas. When he plays against Dallas, fool.
Oh, yeah, they're not making the playoffs this year. We have already said that.
The NFC is pretty shitty. They could probably sneak into the wild card still.
Right now, they're below you in the rankings.
Well, I know. It's because they suck. And they got beat up on Jerry's birthday, which was just mean of you guys.
You loved it, and you know it.
I fucking hate the Cowboys so much.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. Like, I'm just thinking when it comes to that statement Jerry Jones made about being all in. Yeah, I'm thinking that statement is catching up to him when it comes to this season.
So right now, when it comes to defenses or offenses, Lions are the 3rd best offense in the NFL right now with 416 yards per game.
Did he just hit a fucking home run?
Uh-oh. Who? Green Bay is 4th with 400 yards per game. Minnesota is way down there at 323.2 yards per game. Their net yardage is 1,039 yards passing, and their net rushing is 577 so far.
Yeah, they play better teams than you guys have so far, though.
It's the contract with Prescott, one of the worst ever.
Him and Dexter Lawrence is on the same level. Or Trevor Lawrence. Dak Prescott and Trevor Lawrence. You're on the show, damn it. Shut up.
I was going to be like, come on, man. Dexter Lawrence's contract's looking like a steal right now with the way he's been playing.
I mean, if you're paying somebody $60 million a year and they don't get past the first round, that says
they're not getting into the first round. You heard it here. I've said this all year. They might be a 7 to 8 win team.
They're tanking for Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
I expect
and I mean Dion, not Shador. UCF is beating them good. How about the Southern Miss? Are they winning yet?
No.
Damn it.
Southern Miss is bitch made.
I saw one of those profit boosts, so I threw $5 on it. It paid out like 300. So I was like, yeah, fuck it.
And it's looking that way. Tell me it's not. They have not won. They've lost all 4 home games this year. They've only won 3 games on the road. They're 3-4, right?
I believe so.
3-3.
3-3. Okay, so they
Talking about the Cowboys.
they won all 3
It's
road
6
games,
games everybody
and they've
plays.
lost every home game. They're awful at home. Right
Miami's
now,
about to be the #1 team in the country.
and this.
Every part.
Go ahead.
Every part of me thinks that when it comes to Dallas, I'm thinking every part of me thinks Green Bay, they may have broken them in the playoffs when it came to that beatdown we gave them in the first round. And I'm thinking that's what started them on that trajectory of losing games at home.
Week 17, when they were losing for over half of that game to Detroit.
Then they came out and beat Detroit with their secret play, the ref.
Yeah, the ref. They picked up that phone. They said, "Check your Zelly."
Hey man, against justified means.
Yeah, and I had to be honest. When it came to that game, I was shocked at that call right there about the part about linemen having to be reporting eligible when it came to that certain play where they called a certain thing off. That was new to me.
They always got to report eligible.
So we did it 5 times in that game last week.
They should have every offensive line. Come over and report eligible.
Do you know what the best touchdown celebration was, though? David Montgomery, his second touchdown. When he dove through the end zone, he just goes. Made the Mickey Mouse symbol in the air. J.I., thank you for watching. You have a great evening, sir. And I think it was almost time. You might want to plug your ears because I'm starting from the bottom of the division because you guys are the only team with a divisional loss so far, and that'll change as of tomorrow. And I know this. We'll know if there's another divisional loss, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, this sponsor is Fuck the Packers. Say it, Leonard.
Fuck the Packers.
I like the way he says it. And then fuck
does.
the Bears. They have the same record, but they have more conference wins and no divisional loss. At 4-1, we have the Lions. And at 5-0, guess what? They can get Skull Boss.
It's still my favorite one.
It is.
It looks better on the ornament because I moved it in a little bit, and it looks like the crying is from something else.
Do the Vikings have a chance? Of course they do. Any given Sunday, it is a rivalry game. You don't know what's going to happen. I think it's going to be 27-24.
Hey, no, whatever your name is there, of course there's a chance. Just think of it like this. Vandy beat Bama. There's always a chance any given Sunday.
No one you know. That tells me that it's just someone that has got access to my photos. Great.
And as far as Vandy doing it, how ironic is it that that game was the first time in their existence that Vanderbilt actually beat a top 5 team.
And then to turn around and have them get smoked by Tennessee today.
Yes, sir. Look at the score of the Texas game right now.
Is it bad still?
They're still getting shut out.
23-0.
33-0?
23-0.
Yeah, it's been
23-0 at halftime.
It's still 23-0.
Mm-hmm. Miami going to be the #1 team in the country come tomorrow morning.
Yep. It is a rivalry game, and I'm going to say it. Yeah, I think both the games at 1 o'clock are bigger than either of the primetime games. San Francisco's been dog shit, and they got to face off against Kansas City in the ref.
Kansas City been dog shit too, though, man. Mahomes playing like shit this year.
And that defense is saving his ass.
Yep. Did you see that
Just
Cooper
like
Kupp's on the trade
season.
block?
No way.
It came across Bleacher Report a little while ago.
When I see it from Rappaport, I'll put a little more stake in it.
And Garrett Wilson is drawing interest.
The guy that's probably going to end up on the trade block from the Jets is probably going to be Mike Williams.
Yeah, because Rodgers is going to favor his friends over those guys.
Uh-huh.
Right. Well, he's already been favoring Garrett Wilson over Mike Williams. Mike Williams finally had a decent game, and then all of a sudden in the second half, he went away from him. So, and now he got his buddy
Mm-hmm.
there, Devontae Adams. He's going to go away from everybody. Devontae Adams is a diva target vacuum. You watch.
So is Garrett Wilson now.
Well, he's got two friends that he can favor over those other receivers.
Oh yeah, Alan
Not just
Lazard.
Devontae Adams, but he's got his other friend. Yeah.
He throws to Lazard a lot too.
Mm-hmm. Despite the fact he's dropping the football.
Yeah, he just told him to drop him on Hail Marys in the end zone, the bastard.
Hey,
Put
the
way
Bills
more
still
stress
won
on me
that
that
game.
game than I needed. I know. But it was unneeded stress.
See, I don't understand why Texas pulled Arch Manning when he was playing great there for a minute, and I think that kind of rattled his confidence.
Uh-huh. The Green Bay Jets.
It's the new Bay Jets. Get it right. They're in New York.
Or called him, or we already got a name for him. Matt LaFleur told him it's Green Bay East.
Yep.
Just waiting for the news that Jordy Nelson came out of retirement and they signed him.
But last but not least, I do have to give homage to my sponsor. We got Brandon's Tire Service located at South Grand Traverse and West Atherton Road, 602 West Atherton Road. In Flint, where the water's shit, but the tires are good. Stop in and check us out. Used tires starting at $45 and up. New tires, call to get your quote, 810-233-8230. Talk to George or Red, because as long as I have a pinched nerve, I won't be there.
That commercial would be great on the radio to hear just come up randomly across your radio driving.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yes,
Where the water's shit, but the tires are good.
I think for like 2 blocks away from the shop in each direction, they should just lay out thumbtacks and nails and shit and just drum up business.
Well, I want to thank everybody for watching. Try every day to be a better person than you were the day before. That's the only way to make the world a better place. Much love to John Dorn, A-Dub, Von Doom, and Rob Bertana for coming in on the show. I don't think we'll get Max Crosby. I think we will get a different DE if we lose. If we win this game, it's going to push that trade talk back another week, and it'll be a bunch of rumors again. That's my opinion.
If they lose, the trade talks are going to ramp up and everybody's going to be going crazy, though.
Right. If we lose, everybody's going to go nuts. But if we win, it'll all just sort of go whip. You watch.
So, like, Thursday, and they'll be like, oh, we need somebody else.
Oh, ain't that great? That's Count Dooku.
Count
The
Dooku.
thing is Mark Davis, he did his announcement Monday after he was approached by about 18 different teams for Max Crosby, saying, I'm not trading him for multiple firsts. He's staying on the team.
Yeah, Max Crosby won't leave there until he says he wants out. Then Mark Davis may say okay.
I think one of the real reasons Max Crosby will want out of Las Vegas is I think he said himself he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. He wants to win.
I understand he said that, but at the same time, Mark Davis said he's not getting rid of him. And he also said, I don't care if it's here or somewhere else.
And he's also come out and said, though, that he wants to be a Raider. He loves the Raiders. He got them tatted on his body. And what everybody forgets is the dude had a big, big freaking substance abuse problem that they helped him with. So he has loyalty to that team from that. And Mark Davis is his cigar buddy. And doesn't care if he smokes blunts in the locker room.
Until Mark Davis says, okay, you can look for a trade, It ain't happening. You watch.
Shit. If you legitimately wanted Max Crosby, the way to go about it would be okay. Well, you could take a first, Hooker, and one of the running backs is probably what it would take to get him, because he doesn't want to part with him. Yeah.
But that being said, have a great evening, everybody. I hope you enjoy your weekend. Let's watch the games tomorrow and have fun. And I'm going to be a Patriots fan in the morning, because if the Jags lose, they're going on a fire sale.
It might.
Don't forget the Red Zone rant tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I know. Red Zone rant will be there, or at least I will. I don't know if Von Doom will be up in time or not.
Nobody's ever invited me, so I don't bother.
The Red Zone rant, if they put the link in there, you're invited.
Oh. Well, nobody ever told me that, and I'm kind of dumb, okay? Kiss my ass.
Yeah, I'll kick your ass for you. I ain't kissing it.
Yeah. Keep your tongue in your mouth if you decide to, either way.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Thanks, you guys in the chat. That's why we do this stuff. We love these questions and stuff like that. But I think it all depends on if we win or lose on what type of move that Brad Holmes